I don't want to be dramatic, but there is a lot riding on this Han Solo movie. Ironic, a movie the fanboys never wanted must now bring them back. We've now gotten the second trailer, which gives us our best look yet at the film. In this video, I want to break down that trailer and talk about the uncomfortable truth that is hidden within all the marketing for this movie. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with me in this video. Now, we're gonna have a ton of fun here, but before we get into it, I want to quickly shout out Steven Gonzalez for getting the nerd card question correct in my latest Infinity War video. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to Thanos, Steven, so shout out to you. We'll do another nerd card question at the end of this video. So let's get into the Han Solo of all of this. Now, we're gonna break down this trailer, which I thought was incredibly dope. But unfortunately, we also have to tread some kind of uncomfortable waters. This mostly has to do with the truth, which I saw in this latest trailer, and that is that Han Solo may well be the worst part of his own movie. Now, we're going to get into that in just a second, but before I do, I want to talk about the fan divide and the completely unreasonable and unfair pressure that is on the Han Solo movie. From my point of view, The Last Jedi is a good movie. I don't care how many people try to downplay this fact to me. I am in this thing. I am creating Star Wars content, communicating with Star Wars fans on a daily basis. I see it for exactly what it is. This fandom is completely divided. Whether it's fair or not, it is a reality. There's a ton of people that have problems with The Last Jedi and have problems with Disney Star Wars. Some of them are unreasonable, some of them are actually reasonable and have fair criticism, and some of them are trolls that may never have been into Star Wars ever before, but now are seeing an opportunity to take shots at it. So no matter what is actually going on, I believe that this Teflon thing, this brand that is just unbreakable and would always put out hits and have a huge following, I believe that brand, Star Wars itself, is actually in danger.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Now, it's hard to say exactly how much legitimate danger the brand is in, but just from what I've seen online, it's a super big concern for me as a fan, and if I'm reading the moves of Disney correctly, I think it's a big concern for them. So then here comes Solo: A Star Wars Story, the movie that a lot of hardcore fans never asked for, and yes, now this is the movie that is supposed to win a lot of those disenfranchised fans back. So it's just such a weird situation, but that is sort of how I want to frame this thing, because I truly believe there's an unfair amount of pressure on Solo to go out there and wow audiences, wow critics, and make a bunch of money. All right, now let's get into this trailer. Let's break this thing down, talk about all the nerdy goodness that is in it. So here we go. Now, first off, I just want to say this music, perfect. The scenery here, amazing. So real quick too, this is obviously on Corellia, and you've got some interesting, you got this shot of these Star Destroyers being built, and Corellia is a planet where they just build ships. It's like a shipyard kind of planet, so it's cool to see that. We've seen, you know, the interiors of other things being built in Star Wars, but this shot just looks beautiful, and you'll continue to hear me say that. I think the imagery in this movie looks clutch. You got your little homeless guys or whatever. Okay, so this shot's right here. You got Emphas Nest here. This is a female character, very reminiscent of something like a bounty hunter type of character. We've been hearing a lot of behind the scenes about what this character is, how this is all going to work out here. And you got this classic like Indiana Jones type showdown here. Emphas Nest right there. Got Lando, the sabacc table. Oh man, pushing all his chips in. Very cool. Beautiful shots of them coming in to look at it. Now, I do want to say something here, and we'll get to this at the end of the video as well, but crazy that you do not have Han Solo actually narrating his own trailer.
You look good. A little rough around the edges.
We know, of course, that Kira, who is that character, and Han know each other from the past. Okay, so we're getting Paul Bettany here. This is interesting for a couple of different reasons here. Now, we're hearing that this, Woody Harrelson saying big shot gangster, maybe that guy has something to do with it. Now, this whole movie has this vibe of sort of like outlaws, Western themes. That's that like guitar type music right now going on there. It fits what I call mise en scène so beautifully. It's very, very nice to hear. Paul Bettany was added in the reshoots, and they had to remove the other actor that was playing this part. I think he is an Imperial. And remember, I've said several times recently in videos that I think we're so far removed from the core worlds here that you're going to see the Empire and people within the Empire double-crossing each other, working with a lot of autonomy. It's just like the Old West with like the lawmen out there. Very cool stuff. So you finally hear him coming in. I'm a driver, I'm a flyer. The DL-44.
Well, what do you know?
So this actually I think is brilliant, and I want to give him a lot of credit. I'm talking about Alden here because I think he really nails the dynamic of this thing. So even though it feels a little not like the Han we're used to, they definitely nail the dynamic of Han and Chewie.
You got a line on a ship?
I know a guy.
She knows a guy. Oh snap! Best smuggler around.
Wondering if it's true. Everything you've heard about me is true.
Big man on campus at the sabacc table. I love it.
Let go of the mean man's face.
L3. This is going to be a very cool droid, perhaps the latest in amazing Star Wars droids. Sort of feels like following a lot of that HK-47, K2SO sort of a vibe. A female droid, which is kind of cool, and I'm really interested to see this. They look to be sort of equals here. She's definitely not subservient to him, but then again, she is listening to him here, so I don't know. It's kind of an interesting take on it, but I like what I see of the character right away. Beautiful shots of the Falcon.
You're in this life for good.
Might wanna buckle up, baby.
Love it, love it. Just such good Lando stuff here. Look at the range troopers here with those locks on, and they're able to sort of hold onto the train there. Beautiful shots.
And you will never be disappointed.
Okay, so obviously I stopped right here. There's a lot of talk about how this is probably Chewbacca's son. Some people think it's Chewbacca's wife. I think it's going to end up being Chewbacca's son. So I don't know how that'll play into the film, but we know, of course, that part of the history with Han is tied to Chewbacca, the life debt that Chewbacca owes to Han Solo. And I think what's going to happen here is you see Han trying to make a name for himself. He enters the Imperial Academy, and he gets kicked out for having a mind of his own, right? That's something Han said in the first trailer. And I think that's going to be him basically freeing the Wookiees, which would give him a life debt. So are we seeing this shot right here of him saying goodbye to his son, being like, you're safe now, I'm really grateful, but I got to go, I have a life debt to this human now? I don't know, but either way, super cool stuff, emotional stuff Star Wars fans can latch onto.
I got a really good feeling about this.
Got a really good feeling about this. I hope they change that line in post, specifically because of the drama that's going on here.
You look great.
Another awesome little joke there. Ooh, just these shots just look so cool. The action, just blaster bolts flying. Chewbacca tearing people apart. Oh, saving Han. Look at this. Oh no, save Chewie. Don't let him hit that thing.
Having money is not the measure of a man. It matters just how he got it. He produced it by creating value. Money is a token of honor.
All right, guys, now before we get out of here, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the very uncomfortable truth that I saw in that trailer. Now, I sort of hinted to this a couple different times in the video, but yes, I do indeed think that Alden Ehrenreich turned in a less than stellar performance as Han Solo. I mean, it's so obvious. This trailer literally barely has him in it, and it's the official trailer. I mean, it starts with Emilia Clarke narrating. It's got Woody Harrelson narrating it, and it's got a little bit of Alden sort of sprinkled about, which is kind of a bad sign. Now, here's the thing. The reality of the situation is I think this movie is going to be awesome, and I don't think Alden's performance is so bad that it's going to take people out of the movie. I just think it happens to be the weakest part of the film. I mean, the film looks great. It looks like the style of it's amazing. It's got that Star Wars feel to it. I think it's going to be an incredibly fun ride, just a great Star Wars movie. But unfortunately, I do think that the performance of Han Solo might indeed be the weakest part of the film, and the thing that fans come out of sort of being disappointed in. This is really ironic, of course, because it's Han Solo's movie. I mean, it's so weird for me to say this. I think the movie's going to be okay, but his performance and the character of Han Solo, which you'll spend the most time with in this movie, is not going to be resembling the Han Solo that you know. This is just such a weird situation. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about this. Do you agree with me? Because I kind of think that Disney is literally hiding this performance from the marketing because they don't want it to be the thing that people latch onto and talk about in the press. This goes back to the fan divide, but essentially right now it's the popular thing to take shots at Star Wars. So I think Disney's hyper aware of that. That's why they're hiding Alden's performance, and that's why it tipped me off that his performance might be the one glaring issue with this movie. But like I said, I really want to know what you guys think about that, so let me know in the comments section. All right, let's check that nerd card. I want to know how much you know about Star Wars. So the question is, what is the name of Enfys Nest's gang? This is Enfys Nest. She is one of the main villains for this film, and she is in charge of a gang. We recently discovered what the name of that gang is, so answer that question in the comment section below. What is the name of Enfys Nest's gang? As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video. Oh, hey, a little bonus thing. If you're still here and you're like a hardcore Den of Nerds person, I want to know, do you remember this setup? This is the way I used to shoot most of the videos. This is the backdrop here. I've kind of gotten away from this a little bit, but hey, let me know in the comment section. Do you remember watching videos when we were shooting it like this? Kind of cool little nostalgic thing for me. All right, I'm going to get out of here.